Scott Beadle. If you're searching for a used car, you'll want to be very careful checking for possible flood damage. ABC31's Joanna Phillips has some tips from Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry.
In the aftermath of Hurricanes Harvey and Irma, over 1 million vehicles have sustained flood damage. These vehicles could end up back on the streets and sold to unsuspecting citizens by fraudsters who go the extra mile to obtain false titles and hide flood damage. Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry released a public service announcement to bring awareness and protection to consumers looking to purchase a used vehicle.
Be suspicious of unrealistic low prices. Check for musty smells or silt, which could indicate a past presence of moisture. Pull back the carpet for signs of water, and also take notice if the carpet looks like it was recently replaced. Make sure the power locks and windows are working. Observe the headlights and taillights for signs of fogging. Get a mechanic's trained eye to inspect the vehicle, and obtain a vehicle history report.
It's estimated that over 300,000 flood-damaged vehicles are on the nation's roads from past storms. And you can see here how easy it is to take a flood-damaged vehicle and make it look almost brand new. You can obtain a vehicle history report on a used vehicle for free from the National Insurance Crime Bureau. Contact your auto insurance company, local law enforcement agency, or General Landry's Consumer Protection Hotline if you suspect a dealer is selling a flood-damaged vehicle advertised as a used car in good condition. Joanna Phillips, ABC 31 News.
While Tropical Storm Harvey caused some damage to Louisiana's agriculture sector, farmers were spared from extensive losses. LSU Ag Center correspondent Craig Gautreaux has this report from Southwest Louisiana.
Flooding from Tropical Storm Harvey is slow to drain in some areas of Calcasieu and Cameron parishes nearly a week after the storm made landfall. Agricultural fields consisting primarily of rice and soybeans suffered damage, but the biggest concern in Southwest Louisiana is moving cattle to higher ground and feeding them.
We didn't lose any cattle, but we had a tremendous amount of pasture land that went underwater for this storm, probably worse than Rita, and we're still waiting in some areas for the water to go down.
The remnants of Harvey made a wet summer in Southwest Louisiana a worse one. Farmers were struggling to cut hay before the storm, and many will not have the hay reserves they typically have entering winter.
Only about half of the farmers have even cut hay for the first time, and so we have a lot of old hay in the field that probably needs to get harvested. And you know, the quality is not going to be there, but we're going to hopefully be able to cut as much as we can.
Brandon Vale was not able to finish cutting this field because conditions became too wet. He is one of those farmers who is behind on cutting his hay and is now faced with alternatives for his cattle.
At this time of year, I've got 700 bales put up, and I've got 200. I'm actually looking at baling some bean stubble just to try and get enough bales, and we'll just have to supplement and cull down on our cattle.
Vale is unable to get to a rice field down this road, but he expects it to be a total loss and does not intend to harvest it. As bad as it is, he realizes it could have been much worse.
We were luckier than most. We didn't have to move any cattle out. Lost a little bit of rice. Had some beans that still got water on them, but we were very fortunate compared to a lot of people, especially in Texas.
Vale expects the yield on his flooded soybeans to be very low. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
For crops such as sweet potatoes and cotton, it may actually take weeks before they show any signs of damage caused by Harvey. Well, it has been another hot, humid day across Senla. Let's get the latest on our forecast now from meteorologist Ross Whitley.
It's been very warm out there. Summer hanging on as we near the end of summer, going toward fall. We should start to see these temperatures going down just a little bit, even here in central Louisiana, but we're not. Temperatures today, 92 degrees. We should be around 88 and 73. So overnight lows right around where we should be. And we're not that far above average, but it's definitely a little bit warmer than it should be. And of course, the really noticeable thing is the dew points out there. Very, very warm. At least it's been dry as of late. We did have some showers and thunderstorms around the area this afternoon, and we'll continue to see the isolated chance for the next several days. Of course, I have all the details and a tropical weather update coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Ross. Rapides deputies say a Peabody High student is in custody after he reportedly took a handgun to school this morning. The school resource officer with school administrators learned of the gun, removed that student from class, and searched his belongings. Deputies say when they found the gun, the student was taken into custody and transported to Renaissance Home for Youth. That investigation is ongoing. A Natchitoches man is arrested on drug charges. 33-year-old Jeremy Armstrong was stopped for a routine driving offense. The investigation led to further charges. They include possession of Xanax, ecstasy, marijuana, synthetic marijuana, I should say, and parole violations. A 41-year-old Natchitoches man was arrested on drug charges after complaints he was selling drugs from an apartment. Carlos Grigsby reportedly failed a compliance check and is now charged with possession of synthetic marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and probation violations. 3 teens are facing more charges by Alexandria police for another burglary. They are Casey Bailey and Thomas Horner, both 17 from Alexandria, and 18-year-old Dayton Clark of Pollock. Police say the 3 are connected to attempted break-ins over the weekend on Mildred and Osiris Streets. Police say more charges have been added to those against Horner because he has been ID'd as the driver of the suspect's vehicle. The annual open enrollment period for Medicare begins on October 15th, and over 1 million senior citizens in Louisiana will begin that enrollment process.
Just like your homeowner's insurance and your automobile insurance that you kind of look at the premiums and deductibles every year, you do the same during the Medicare open enrollment. Is what I currently have right now going to be what I need for the next calendar year? Can I save money? Can I still see my doctors? Can I still use my pharmacy? Are my medicines covered? All those things are what you need to consider during that open enrollment period.
Seniors enrolling for the first time can use a free service available through the Louisiana Department of Insurance's Senior Health Insurance Information Program, known as SHIP, if they do need assistance. The open enrollment deadline is December 7th. More money is being handed out for some area airports. The Leesville facility will receive almost $1 million for runway improvements. The Alexandria Museum of Art is continuing to celebrate its 40th anniversary. The museum's executive director, Catherine Piers, joined the Rotary Club of Alexandria today to discuss the upcoming celebration events.
We're opening brand new collection gallery in our museum to highlight our collection. We also have an exhibit opening this Friday, and we'll be having a ribbon cutting prior to the opening of the beautiful Lynn Emery sculpture, Fran's Tree, that has recently been installed in front of the museum. We'll also be talking about the service that we give to our community through our programs with visual thinking strategies with teachers and students, and some of the programs we do with our local veterans.
You can learn more about the Alexandria Museum of Arts and their upcoming events by visiting their website at themuseum.org. The Arts Council of Central Louisiana has a new season of the Southern Circuit Tour of Independent Filmmakers beginning this month. The season will begin with a show titled Pushing Dead.
The title of the show is Pushing Dead, and it's a great comedy with a heartwarming spin, I'll say. This is a story about a guy who's been HIV positive for 20 years, and then he receives a $100 birthday check, deposits the $100 check, and then goes to find out that puts him over his limit with our strange, absurd medical insurance conditions we have these days, puts him over the limit, and now all of a sudden he's in a bind and he has to come up with $3,000 a month for his meds, his life-saving meds to keep his life going.
Pushing Dead will hit the screen on September 22nd. You can visit the Arts Council of Central Louisiana website for more information on the show, other upcoming shows, and, of course, to purchase tickets.
Hi, everybody. This is the voice of the Tigers, Jim Hawthorne, inviting you to watch Inside LSU Football, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors on this affiliate of the LSU Sports Television Network every week during the season. We'll have all the highlights, exclusive locker room access you won't see anywhere else, and features that will give you the inside story on your Fighting Tigers football team.
Inside LSU Football. Join us Sundays at 10 on KLAX TV. Brought to you in part by Take 5 Oil Change.
Hi, meteorologist Ross Whitley. Looking across the state here, some showers and isolated storms all around the region. Pretty isolated, pretty widely scattered. We had a little better coverage across the southern part of the state earlier today. But if you look off to the west, there's actually a nice dry line that is forming through Texas and moving to the east pretty quickly. And that could be affecting us as we go throughout the day tomorrow. And of course, the dry line is just the difference between humid air and dry air, and that's just enough at the surface to help create that lift and create storms to go. So that's why you see these all in a line here moving off to the east as that dry line progresses to the east. So we could see a little enhanced chance of rain overnight tonight and early tomorrow. And then again, with thunderstorms popping up as we go throughout the day tomorrow afternoon. 92 officially here in Alexandria today, a 91 in Lafayette, 90 in Lake Charles. How about Shreveport at 92, Monroe at 92 as well. Very, very warm temperatures out there, and at least we're not alone. The whole East Coast, really everywhere from the middle or from Midwest to the East Coast, dealing with warm temperatures out there. So summer very much hanging on. Thunderstorms around early, and then again another chance of thunderstorms moving through as we go late into the overnight hours into the early morning hours, and about a 40% chance of shower or thunderstorm out there. Now, what to expect as we go forward? Well, humid conditions will continue. Showers and afternoon thunderstorms likely again for the day tomorrow. And then as we work into the middle part of the week on Thursday and Friday, we're going to keep the humidity around, but we at least have some drier air moving in, and going to have more stable air, I should say. It's not going to be really any drier out there, just a little more stable, so not allowing those thunderstorms to develop. And then as we get into the weekend, we'll see those showers and storms back in the forecast. So summer-like temperatures brought on summer-like pattern. Well, old frontal boundary sitting across the region, allowing for those spotty thunderstorms, pretty widely scattered all across the southeast, and that will continue to be the story. Now, looking at Jose, going to do a nice big loop here as potentially a depression, but this is good news for the East Coast, because while this is creating big surf and rip currents out there and doing some beach erosion, it's also going to be weakening a high pressure system in the Atlantic. And what that means is, as the powerful Maria moves off to the north and east, it's actually going to start to recurve into the Atlantic, and that's all thanks to Jose just sitting out there and weakening that high pressure system. So unfortunate for the Caribbean, but fortunate for the East Coast that this thing is going to start to curve. Forecast highs tomorrow right near that 90-degree mark once again, about a 50% chance of showers and storms. And our 7-day forecast, stay, well, isolated scattered showers and storms, but we're definitely staying with the summertime temperatures all the way up to 93 by Friday, and we keep the 90s rolling through the weekend with a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon. That's a look at your 7-day and your weather forecast.
To you, it's just an old coat. But to an underprivileged child, it's a warmer winter. Please help us collect coats for kids before the cold months get here. You can drop off new or gently used coats at a location near you. All coats are cleaned and distributed right here in our community. The KLAX Coats for Kids Drive is sponsored by First Federal Bank, Southern Heritage Bank, Bank of Montgomery, Kramer Funeral Home, Take 5 Oil Change, South Park Cleaners, and LaSalle Printing and Office Supply.
Predators better pray.
Crime Watch Daily airs weekdays at 3 on KLAX TV. Download the KLAX weather app for your smartphone or tablet. Get live current conditions, radar maps, alerts, and more. More ways to stay connected with KLAX TV.